What is up, guys? Welcome to week 11 of Packers Aftermath. I'm your host, Nate Clark. Happy to be joining you guys once again. Unfortunately, a little bit like last week, I'm joining you guys after another blowout loss, this time to the hands of the Washington Redskins. Final score, Washington 42, our Green Bay Packers 24. That now drops Green Bay to an overall 4-6 in third place in the NFC North standings, and they have a lot of work to do to get back up to the top of the division. So let's run real quick down what we saw on the stat line. Aaron Rodgers threw 351 yards and added 3 touchdowns. Jared Cook added 105 yards and 6 catches and a touchdown. Jordy Nelson, he added his league-leading 10 touchdown catch of the season. And also we had James Starks show up with a 31-yard touchdown catch. So some good things there from the quarterback position. I know he was under a lot of scrutiny this week in the media. Off the field issues, family things, Olivia Munn. I'm sure we've heard it all by now. But he didn't sell us short for anything. I thought his leadership was outstanding again this week. And he's definitely coming to play. So let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball. Where do we begin? Well, a lot of problems going on in the secondary. Yes, injuries have been brutal to this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Quentin Rollins just couldn't run with anyone. Joe Thomas couldn't run with anyone at all. Clay Matthews was active tonight, and it almost seemed like he wasn't playing at all. Very, very quiet night for Clay. I know he's battling hamstring issues. But Nick Perry still being very consistent on the defensive side of the ball for us. He added 2 QB hurries, a sack, and 4 total tackles. Julius Peppers, he came through, added a sack and a big pass deflection that added some momentum for our offense to get the ball back. But just continued a lot of problems on the defensive side of the ball. Let's jump right into my game balls I'm going to be handing out for this game. Not much we can do for the defensive side. So I'm handing out my game ball to Nick Perry, who, like I said, had a few hurries and added us another sack and had a couple tackles. Playing a lot more consistent now that he's been in the league for a while now. He did get banged up a little bit, but stayed in the game. So he gets my game ball on the defensive side. Now the offense, I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers, who added a total of 384 yards, 351 on the air, and 33 on the ground, 3 touchdowns. That's what I got for game balls. Just a tough night in general for this team. I know the Fire Mike McCarthy chant has not stopped at all, and now Dom Capers has joined that bandwagon. So the turning point of the game, that's another segment we're going to be adding into Aftermath. The turning point of the game, in my opinion, was James Stark's 31-yard touchdown catch, and then the game completely flipped with Crowder's long touchdown pass from Kirk Cousins. That kind of turned the whole tide of the game, and then it was back and forth for a while. So, unfortunately, Green Bay coming out on the losing side. I did see some potential of them, getting back in the game before Jared Cook's fumble on that last drive that ended up sealing it for the Packers. So, next up for the Green Bay Packers, we have a Monday Night Football matchup next week in Philadelphia against Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. In my opinion, every game from here on out is a must-win, and it's not going to get any easier. Seattle's coming up after Philadelphia, so very, very short press conferences by Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. Not much else to touch on. One big thing that stuck out in my mind was Green Bay's not getting off the field on third downs. Their third down defense is just is really getting scoped out, and that's turning into a really big issue. And it's not going to help the offense out with all of these so-called issues the offense is having. Third down defense is huge, plays a huge part to help an offense. So, like I said, I gave out my game balls already. With a game like this, it's difficult to hand them out, but we still got to hand them out. Touched on our turning point of the game. Unfortunately, the turning point was for Washington's favor. So, other than that, that's all I have for you guys this week on Aftermath. Follow me on Twitter at CoachNate71. Send me all your questions for next week's show if you want to be on. This week on Twitter, I'm going to be diving into the Eagles and Packers history, and stay tuned for that. Like I said, send me your questions on Twitter at CoachNate71, and I will answer them on the show next week. And we'll be on Monday night, so stay tuned for that. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching. Follow me on Twitter, and remember, go Pack Go.